ने मन से ही किया।
Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Sports, your daily guide to all that's happening on Beyond the Boundary, the daily guide to India's tour of England. As always, we've got a power packed panel with Avijit Ghosh joining us from Delhi, Pratyush Raj joining us from Delhi, and Dwaipa and Datta joining us from Chennai. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. And starting off first with you, Avijit, what did you make of that first session on fourth day? Uh, how would you sum up that session?
The session belongs to India. We have done very well. ऊपर के 4 विकेट निकल गए हैं. अब बात ऐसा रह गया है कि जो रूट और बेन स्टोक्स ये हमारे लिए यही उनको रोक सकते हैं. I know that Jamie Smith has been the most successful batsman on this in this series, but खेल काफी हद तक इस पार्टनरशिप पे डिपेंड करेगा, बिकॉज बेन स्टोक्स जो है वो फॉर्म में नहीं है, पर वो उनमें ग्रिट है, आराम से विकेट नहीं देंगे. और जो रूट पे क्लास है, जो इस डिफिकल्ट विकेट पे जहां पे जसप्रीत बुमराह कहीं कहीं से बॉल को बहुत ही अनकंफर्टेबली उनको वहां से बाउंस मिल रहा है, तो यही लोग हैं जो इंग्लैंड को संभाल सकते हैं. बट एक बात मैं फिर भी बोलना चाहूंगा कि अगर हम इंग्लैंड को 200 प्लस में ले जाने देते हैं इस ग्राउंड पे, इस पिच पे, तो मैच इंटरेस्टिंग हो सकता है, क्योंकि इस पिच पे मुझे लगता है जेफरी आर्चर और ब्राइडन कार्स जो हैं वो भी इफेक्टिव होंगे. सो एनीथिंग अबव 250 विल बी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट. और जहां तक हमारा बैटिंग का सवाल है, हमारा ट्रू टेस्ट जो है वो इस मैच में होगा, 5वें दिन में.
Dwaipan, this has been the story. India has got the English top order in every test match, but it's the middle to lower order that India struggled to get out. And India doesn't seem to have the kind of bowling that is needed to blow the tail away like England did in the first innings of this test match and also in the first test match. Is that going to be a worry for India? Because Jamie Smith, Bryden Cars, these are the kind of guys who have been scoring runs in the first test match, in all 3 test matches rather.
Struggle to get out, meaning like England has also struggled to get India's lower order out. So it
but
is
yesterday India's last 4 wickets fell for 11
last
runs.
3 wickets went for
Four
wickets. But before that, look at the partnership of that Washington Sundar had. So they also struggled. They are also struggling to get Indian batters out. It is kind of cancelling the two teams out. Just as Ojita was also saying, like, unless England gets 250 to 250, if another wicket falls, I'm telling you, if Joe Root falls, if Joe Root falls, this lineup will crumble. We have seen how that lower order is in the last test, where they had to bat time, where they could, first innings they could not. First innings after that brilliant partnership, they could not do anything. Second innings they could not bat time. So it is not as great as it seems, and with an up pitch being slightly up and down, Bumrah steaming in, I don't think it's that big a worry. That the worry is Joe Root. If Joe Root doesn't get out, then it can get interesting. But if India gets Joe Root in the first half an hour, 20 minutes, then India should get them out for around 200 to 225, and that India will get. India will chase it down. The pitch is not as bad as England is making it out to be. With the new ball, from one end there is an up and down, there is uneven bounce, and that too is with the new ball. The kind of shot that Harry Brook played, What does it mean? Like that was nothing. That was no uneven bounce. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The straight ball he's trying to play that shot. So it's okay. It's 98 for 4. India needs to get Joe Root out. Simple. That's one wicket. That's one man standing between India and victory. If he bats for 2 hours, it can get interesting. 275 can be an interesting target. Otherwise, it's India's game.
Pratyush, what's your take? Will India be able to uh, dismiss Joe Root, but more importantly, get through the English lower order? Because that's been a struggle for India, and the Indian captain has looked clueless at times, letting Jamie Smith score runs, and also Bryden Cars. Remember in the second innings of the second Test match as well, Bryden Cars struck a few lusty blows. In the first innings, also India had no clue.
It's like in most of the Indian captains have struggled. Chris Wokes has scored a century against us. Jimmy Anderson has scored a 90 against us. So ये नया नहीं है, but I think this is a third inning, and if we'll get 2 wickets in first 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I I think they this time around we'll be able to wrap them under 200. I feel that I think we will win this match comfortably, and hopefully, I mean, just with the Bumrah steaming in, I think we'll be able to wrap their tail. And there's enough rough also. We have still not seen enough spin bowling, so that would come to the play in the after lunch. But I think आगे बढ़ने से पहले I have a question for all three of you. ये जैक क्रॉली का क्या है? 57 टेस्ट, 30 का एवरेज. आई थिंक आफ्टर दिस इनिंग इट विल गो डाउन इनटू द 29. हैव यू गाइस, आप लोगों ने इतना साल क्रिकेट कवर किया है, कभी किसी ओपनर को इतना देखा है? डिस्पाइट बीइंग लाइक looking clueless against a quality attack, is an opener. He doesn't know where his feet are. मतलब I don't know. मतलब आप, if Evan Chandresh sir, if you could, मतलब आपसे ही स्टार्ट करता हूँ अबाउट जैक क्रॉली. मैं क्या क्या देख के दे आर गिविंग हिम लाइक रेड कारपेट बिछा रखा है यार.
I guess also because they don't want to make too many changes in their lineup. And there are comments on our chat window where they're saying that Arvind Atreya says Crawley, Pope have secret videos of Stokes and Robkey, and someone else, Sport says Crawley father is a good friend of ECB head Perchi player. So those comments are also coming in. But I guess they don't want to make too many changes. If this was England in the 80s and 90s, if they after losing the second Test match, they would have had at least 7 changes in the lineup. Remember in 1988, they had 4 captains in 6 Test matches against West Indies. So that has also happened. Avijit, I'll let you answer.
Crawley looks a very aristocratic batsman if the ball is not moving sideways, if the pitch is benign. This actually has been one of his worst series. उसके shots मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. I like him as a hitter, but finally the test of a batsman is when the going gets rough. उसके पैर नहीं चलते. That is true, but he had he has shot making skills without moving his feet. He picks up the ball early, but we all know that batting is also a game of confidence, and he seems to have lost his confidence. And I think it would have been better if the English selection panel had replaced him for a game or two, so that he could get his confidence back and score runs. But I really don't know. They seem to have some kind of a faith in him, but generally you can see that this is a team that keeps the faith. Where it's difficult to get in, but it's more difficult to get out. You can see that in the case of Shoaib Bashir also.
Avijita, on a lighter note, शायद गब्बर होता है तो पैर चलता उसका.
क्यों?
नहीं, वो गब्बर ने कहा.
Yeah.
So, but Vaipan, just going back to India's effort with the bat, that 1 hour of madness, first with KL Rahul and Pant, that Pant run out, and that could that potentially have have been a damaging one for India. It's still a long way to go in the test match, 1.5 days to go in the test match. But that particular phase where Pant got run out just before lunch and KL Rahul got out just after lunch, and then that madness towards the end, how much is that going to factor in the mind of the Indian think tank?
No, I do not. I'm just asking you one thing, Chandresh. Will players not get out? Like, is there a mandate that players will not get out? There was a single there. Rishabh Pant tried that single. It was a moment of brilliance from Ben Stokes that brought about that run out. After lunch, for once, Bashir bowled kind of well and one wicket fell. After that, we had a bucket full of runs. So, in a game of cricket, there will be the odd wickets here and there. There will be runs. So that is the sport, no? So how can India bat on for 5,000 for five declared? That will not happen. So it's fine. What you can maybe say is that desperation for that KL Rahul milestone was not needed. That single they could have avoided at that point of time, because a century doesn't make any difference. If he had got out for 99 and if he gets out for 106, it does not make any difference other than the fact that there is a headline, there is a picture, and there is all that, and there is there is a bit more chatter. Beyond that, there is no difference between a 98 and a 106, so there is no reason to be desperate to get that single and get that 100 before before tea. So that was the mistake. But that run, having said that, that run was on. So you try for the run, you get run out. That's okay. That's okay. The wickets will fall just as runs happen. Wickets fall. We did not expect that not a single wicket will fall, not fall in the first session. That also was was quite an achievement. So it's okay. The wickets will fall.
What did you make, Dwapan, of Washington Sundar's approach, or especially when they had a fielder placed right before he got out, the ball before he got out, they placed a fielder backstop and they played the ball
No,
straight to that fielder.
no, no.
What did you make of that approach that he had towards the end of the innings, where he was letting the tail play Archer and the other bowlers?
I think he was playing pretty well. This England does not know how to bowl to left-handers. They just cannot get left-handers out. And when he was batting with number 11, they got the fielder back. So and he bowled that delivery, and that was the only shot that was on. There was no point just hanging around wasting the time. Actually, India should have declared 1 or 2 overs earlier. Just 2 overs earlier, have a crack at England for two more overs. They might have got one wicket yesterday night itself, because that number 11, that partnership was making no sense. The game was getting stuck, not going anywhere. It was fine. And Washington Sundar, they are not being able to. If you look at his dismissals and the way he has batted, they have been unable to get Jadeja out. They have been unable to get Washington Sundar out. They have been unable to get Rishabh Pant out. They're struggling against Jaiswal. Jaiswal, that uh, first innings, somehow they got him out, but that's almost an exception. So they are badly struggling against left-handers, and I think he was fine. Yashashi just your Washington Sundar did what was needed from him, got those extra runs, those that runs cushion that India needed. He gave them those runs, and now it's up to the pacers and the pitch, and now the spinners can also come into play.
Uh, Avijita, you wanted to say something, because I saw you
No,
tweeted also.
no, no, yeah, I think that Washington Sundar's, he scored uh, 20 runs on the first 60 balls. The moment Jadeja got out, the next 16 balls that he faced, he scored only 3 runs. Uh, his approach, batting with tailenders is also an art. I don't think he has so far, mastered the art. He's still learning. If he'll be batting for India, he has to he'll be batting at that number only, and our tail will remain the way it is. So I think there is something for him to be learned there. Also about the Rishabh Pant Rahul misunderstanding which led to the run out. I feel that there is a sort of a pressure not only on the batsman but also on the non-striker to ensure that the batsman gets his 100. ये एक बड़ा विचित्र सा चीज है जो हमारे अंदर सब कॉन्टिनेंट में है. हमारा जो एक ग्लोरिफिकेशन होता है ऑफ द 100, this puts unnecessary pressure on the batsman as well as the non-striker to get 100. I don't think that Rahul would have gone for that run. And he himself said so in the press conference. He said that I wanted to get my 100 before the lunch. Now वो lunch के पहले या lunch के बाद में क्या फर्क होता है, it's a very subcontinent way of thinking कि lunch के let me get the century now and I will आराम से फिर खाना खाएंगे and I will be in a relative frame of mind, in a more peaceful frame of mind. See, Joe didn't bother. He was there on 99. He just didn't bother. तो हमारे यहाँ I think we have a little, वो हमारे यहाँ centuries का tradition है. We measure success of a batsman by the hundreds that they have done. So that is the way we look at cricket, and that is why I think probably that is at the core of what happened. And I feel to some extent that it was a turning point because Rishabh Pant, this was one of his finest innings that he has played. Injury के साथ वो batting कर रहा था और I think the maturity that he showed, he battled pain, injury, and it was a fabulous innings and it was turning into a fabulous partnership. This could have been one of his, this will be a memorable innings, but everybody would have remembered it much more if he had got 100 in this innings, added another 35-40 runs, which he could have done in this case. He didn't look in any trouble at all. In fact, he looked as the most confident of all the batsmen, including Rahul.
Pratyush, what's your take?
I have a very controversial take on that. Like, मैं अगर बोलूं तो मुझे गालियां पड़ेंगी, but वो जो I mean both side of the lunch, जो दोनों side का जो हुआ, it tells you why none of them were, मतलब दोनों को captaincy क्यों नहीं मिला. KL Rahul became captain, and we have seen KL Rahul in IPL succumbing under pressure. So the Pant run out, उसके दिमाग में, मतलब it was in his brain. He completed his century, and it was like, मतलब शोएब बशीर, it was a soft dismissal. ऐसा कोई बहुत like शोएब बशीर is not James Wan कि वो toss up किया, उसको खुद नहीं पता कि उसको कौन सा बॉल कहाँ फेंकना है. It's just like a failed experiment of baseball. Second, Rishabh Pant का problem, I feel it's his problem in white ball format also. उसको कोई out नहीं कर सकता, ऋषभ पंत खुद ही out हो सकता है. Because he has so much, his defense is excellent. He can hit. He is 360 player. But I mean, even that discussion, a ball before, there was a discussion. अरे भैया क्या चौका वाला ball था, could have hit a boundary and get to the 3 figures. I mean, as Abhijit Dam said, this entire ये जो, I mean, इसमें अगर if you can bring Jasprit Bumrah also कि Lords पे ही खेलना है, honors board में ये लेना है, मतलब there is something called जो हम लोग शायद upbringing में ही होता है, 90% ही लाना है, उसके नीचे तो student ही नहीं हो. This is something वो cricket में भी ऐसा दिख रहा है. I feel it was stupid to think about a milestone at the stroke of lunch, but then that's how Rishabh Pant goes. He's a maverick, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But looking at what's happened so far, Dwaipayan, in the first session, we saw Harry Brook playing that shot. He had already played 2 shots behind the wicketkeeper and got 2 boundaries. Was that one shot too many from him, and intelligent bowling by Akashdeep?
Akashdeep stuck to the same length. Harry Brook was playing a high risk game. Like he misses one, he gets out. I for one do not understand why he played those 2 shots before that also, which brought the boundaries. On a pitch like this, play straight. That's the way Test cricket needs to be played. And if India was playing, I can guarantee you none of the Indian players, maybe Rishabh Pant, maybe. Other than that, no one else will try that shot. Sometimes you need to be civilized, cultured, straight batting on a pitch where there is a little bit of up and down bounce. Why will you do that? There is no need for that. So he was playing live and die by the sword. That is how he plays the sport. That is a philosophy that they have kind of cultivated and tries to do. They may argue that if we were defensive, if we were playing straight on this pitch, we might have been 65 for 3 or 65 for 4, getting out to defensive shots. At least here we have 100 runs. Like Harry Brook has scored 20 runs. I do not know whether that will make a difference at the end of the day, because having said that India has won the session, 100 runs is decent runs on a day 4 pitch, which seems to have a little bit of life in it. So they have got 100 runs. So that is that. Harry Brook's way of playing cricket is to find ways to score runs, not survival. So I did an interview of his, and I asked him that, like, why do you try outrageous shots at 0 and 99? He says, if I think the ball is there to be hit, I will try. I don't care what score I am on. So he believed that's a ball to hit, and he tried, and he got out.
Vijit, also there's a bit of a needle carrying on from yesterday. When last evening, then what happened? We saw in the last over with Zach Crawley and the Indian players and Shubman Gill, and it carried on this morning as well. And we saw Mohammed Siraj being so animated, especially when he dismissed Ben Duckett. And that was that called for or uncalled for, the way he reacted after he dismissed Ben Duckett?
देखिए कुछ there are some players who probably feel that they perform better if they are charged up. Kohli was one of them, and in many cases it worked for him. I think you know Siraj also works himself up. The post dismissal reaction I felt was over the top. अगर क्रिकेट की जगह फुटबॉल होता तो शायद इसमें हम येलो कार्ड दिखा सकते थे. इट वाज नॉट अ रेड कार्ड ऑफेंस, इट वाज अ येलो कार्ड ऑफेंस. एक चीज है which is against the law, that you cannot touch, there has to be no physical contact, because cricket is not a physical contact sport. So there is a light shoulder sort of brushing between him and Duckett, but I would not say that it was Siraj's fault in that case, because बाद में मैंने कई बार क्लोज वीडियो देखा और बाद में नासिर हुसैन ने भी ये बात बोला कि while Siraj went very close to Duckett and shouted in his face, he shouted come on, वो बहुत जोर से 2 बार बोले, but actually it is Duckett who walks angular way and touches him. So I think to that extent, you can say that Siraj overreacted. He was over aggressive, but the shoulder thing, the touching of shoulders, was not because of him, because of what he did. He did not walk, angularly and hit Duckett the way Kohli had done to Constance, where he had changed the track and hit. But having said that, I think the game is still very much under control. I sometimes feel that umpires should be a little more proactive in this. हालांकि इस केस में the umpire did I think have a very short word with Siraj. Maybe the match referee will look into it, and he might lose say 10% of his match fee or something.
Pratyush, will the captain now trust Mohammed Siraj's call for DRS a lot more than he does with few others in the team now?
I think during that YWC gala, वहाँ पे उसके पूछा भी गया, तो he has said that it is Mohammed Siraj and Javinder Jadeja जिनको अगर पैड पे बॉल लगता है तो these two are those जिसको लगता है हर बार आउट ही है. So I think he's still learning that thing, and he looked pretty disappointed in the second test when Pant and Siraj we lost in DRS. I feel Dhruv Jurel is a better reader. I feel his keeping is better than Pant. So I might get like smack left, right, center by saying this. I think we'll have to find a way to play Dhruv Jurel in this playing 11. Pant can bat. Let Pant bat only and let Jurel keep. So that is something else. But yeah, I think going forward, Suman Gill will have to उसको सीखना होगा to say no. ठीक है कभी अगर if your gut captaincy is still learning अभी instinct नहीं है gut feeling नहीं है and that's why we are missing experience like Rohit and Virat if you remember साफ मना कर देते थे क्या यार क्या कर रहा है because Rishabh Pant is also that kind of a character जिसको हर बॉल लगता है आउट ही है so that's where we are missing the experience and जो KL Rahul is not that kind of a like उसका वो ऑरा नहीं है maybe and everyone it's a very young team तो साल अभी पैड पे लगा तो हाउस दैट है तो आउट ही है and then वो अच्छा लगता है ना it's a very cool way to go forward like ऐसा करके वो करना but I think he'll learn.
Dwepan, there is a question from Cricket Lady. She asks, the umpiring from Paul Rifle has been so disappointing. Does he have something against India? Some form of veiled racism after his lack of authority was criticized by the English media yesterday.
I don't think there was he was against India in any way because uh, when a leg before decision is normally given, an umpire, the a bowler coming over the right arm pace bowler coming over the wicket, when the umpire gets to see one stump, the normal instinct is to give not out. If you see the two leg before decisions of Siraj, which one went against India and one went in favor of India, in both the cases the off stump was visible. Paul Rifle followed the basic rule of umpiring that when you can see one on the off stump, you give it not out. The benefit of doubt goes to the batter. That is exactly what he did. Uh, Ollie Pope is slightly shorter. The ball had, and that's why he got that leg before. So I don't think there is any racism, anything of that sort. It was he's an umpire will not give every decision in favor of India. Let's this is not a game which has been designed for India to win. If they win, they will play well and win.
Dwepan, there are a few other comments. All-rounder Mohsin says England का lower order फिर से परेशान करेगा. He says Ujjwal Moria says Washington is not a lower order batter. Our tail starts from number 9. And then Ujjwal Moria also says under 200 easy, above 200 Bhagwan Barose.
I think till 250 India will manage because see the England bowling is no great shakes. England bowling like this Jofra Archer with the new ball will be a bit of a bother. Yes, if 3-4 wickets go in the first 10 overs, it can get difficult. But I do not see that happening. This is a resolute top order. They are leaving the ball very well. That is the best thing about this top order is that they know how to leave deliveries outside the off stump. So I do not see a collapse. A collapse. Yes, if it gets to 275, 300 ish, then it can get interesting. I think below that, even if India struggles, they should be they should get the runs because this England attack does does not have that penetration that they usually used to have, and they cannot control the runs also because they do not have a good spinner. So they are kind of caught up. They are caught up in a nowhere land. So if it's more than 250, then the pressure of the situation also starts playing. But below that, I think India should win this game. From
Abhijit
where
Da, Abhijit Da, there are some questions, rather comments from Shubham Keshri. He says England जीतेगा पक्का 300 मारेगा. Sports says this is verified news that Crawley's father has a friend at ECB. He's still continuing with that. And then Shubham Kesri says Stokes and McCullum should resign. Baseball has ended. And to your question, Pratyush, Ujjwal Maurya says Keaton Jennings, 17 test matches, 25 average. Avijita, your comment?
One second,
Yeah.
Chandesh. Krishnamachari Srikanth, 43 test matches, 29 average.
That's conflict of interest, but anyways, go on.
या मैं दो सवालों पे मतलब जो पहले के हैं ये तो मतलब इन्होंने विचार कहा है, कोई सवाल नहीं पूछा है. One thing about the LBW decision that we got that Paul Reiffel didn't give, I'd like to say that maybe his decision was partly influenced by the fact that yesterday two plum dismissals of what seemingly plum dismissals of Akashdeep, दो बार वो LBW लगा, साफ साफ मिडिल स्टंप पे लग रहा था, but the ball, you know, वो क्रिस वोक्स की डिलीवरी थे, they didn't even look close to ये. So I don't know whether they felt that the movement is, the sideways movement is extraordinary and it could have played a role. I would also remind you that actually true to form, आज सिराज ने एक DRS पहले वेस्ट किया था, and it is a huge credit to Shubman Gill that despite one DRS being wasted today, he had the confidence to back Siraj and Dhruv Jurel. So that is one thing. एक और भी चीज था about 250 run and all. देखिए, I strongly feel that in the अभी जब हम चेस करेंगे तो जितना भी हो, अगर 200 के ऊपर का कोई भी स्कोर हो, हमारा इसमें एबिलिटी की बात नहीं है, ये बिल्कुल ये टेम्परामेंट का खेल होगा. और ये टेम्परामेंट का खेल में 200, 250 या उससे जो भी चीज है वो उसका एक अलग प्रेशर होगा जो हम फील करेंगे. Which is why I feel there are two batters who are very very important for us. One is Jaiswal, the other is Pant. ये दो जो हैं, if they play their normal attacking game और शुरू के 10 ओवर में कल जब भी उनको मौका मिलता है करने का, अगर ये 10-12 ओवर में 40-50 रन ये बनाते हैं, जायसवाल has always been an aggressive starter, तो हमारा ये रहेगा. अदरवाइज डिफेंसिव खेल के 200-250 होना वो डिफरेंट लेवल का प्रेशर होता है, एंड इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द पिच एंड क्वालिटी ऑफ द अटैक, वो हम we create our the mind game शुरू हो जाते हैं, the mind starts working in strange ways. It will be an interesting match. Maybe we will still pull it off, but this match I feel will be a test of our temperament, our nerves.
Yeah, I think we've lost Abhijit there. Pratyush, one final question from our subscriber. What is your opinion about the pitch today? Will it help bowlers furthermore tomorrow when India bats?
I think day 5 pitch it will, but in WTC day 5 pitch become better, but it's a different weather be different है that अभी के हिसाब से I think it will deteriorate. But I feel again KL Rahul will be the key. If KL Rahul and if Jaiswal can give you that quick start and KL can hang around, anything between 250 will be able to chase.
Yeah, the players are just stepping out. One final round from all three of you. Avijita, starting from you. What is the score that England will be bowled out for?
243.
243. Dwaipan?
Difficult to say when Joe Root gets out. If Joe Root gets out early, it will be less than 200. If he gets a 50, it will be in that 250 zone.
What about you, Pratyush?
Below 200.
Below 200. Okay.
180 से 200.
Okay, I think Abhinav Vivek has given two options: 180 or 350. So he's swinging between two ends of the pendulum. So he's very pessimistic and optimistic both at the same time.
He has replaced Wasim Akram as the Sultan of Swing.
Yeah, now the shakeout tweak is not around anymore, so somebody has to replace Wasim Akram, the Sultan of Swing. So that's it for now on Beyond the Boundary. We'll be back tomorrow to hopefully analyze what will be a dramatic final day of this third test match of this 5-match series between England and India in the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Remember, you can like, share, subscribe, and comment and be part of the conversation that we are having right through this India tour of England. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining me today. We'll be back again tomorrow. It's goodbye and God bless from all four of us and our backend team. We'll see you tomorrow. Keep watching the test match and keep commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Goodbye.